There's always a better way to do what you're doing right now. So be grateful. Now they're just like, oh my gosh, there's so much more to do, right? And I was like, no, programmatic is where my heart is. Amen.
Welcome to another episode of the Programmatic Digest podcast. I'm your host, Ellen Parker, and today we have an amazing guest, my good friend, Lynzee. How are you doing today, Lynzee?
I'm doing amazing, excited to be here, and excited to get into this interview.
I am so happy that we got to schedule this interview, because you recently joined the Reach and Frequency program, which we'll tell everybody listening a little bit about in a few minutes there. But and then you got a job after the program. And before that, you were in a different field outside of marketing. So if you're listening or watching on YouTube, this episode is all about Lynzee's story, why she decided to join, why she even got interested in this crazy industry we work in that's called programmatic. And then we'll get to learn more about her aspiration and her future. So without further ado, Lynzee, how about you give us a great introduction of yourself to those who don't know you yet?
Okay, so my name is Lynzee, as Ellen stated. I like to call myself a dynamic individual. So I do a lot of different things. First and foremost, I'm a mother, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a philanthropist, and I am newly a programmatic ninja as well. I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and just very excited and enthusiastic about everything to come and everything that I've been learning and just being a part of the Reach and Frequency course. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. And so I usually ask this question at the end of the interview, but I'm gonna ask now because I think that's what makes your beauty and more, or your talent, is the fact that you are a yoga therapist and you own a studio. So talk to us about the studio.
Yeah, so I'm at Sapvic Studio in Portsmouth, Virginia. I also have an office space in Chesapeake, Virginia right now, and currently looking for an even larger space. So that's my goals, my future goals and present goals as well. But pretty much I organize and I bring in different yoga instructors and I allow them to share their gifts with the world. One of my major goals is to create a wellness center where I'll be able to employ different yoga instructors and give them opportunities to teach around the world, as well as opening up my own yoga school really, really soon. So those are kind of my goals right now. So right now, I'm just, like I said, starting off in the city of Portsmouth. It's a beautiful experience. I've got a chance to really grow my business there. And I'm definitely looking forward to just continuously expanding on that in the near future. So
that is so cool, because when I heard that, I was like, yo, this is so dope. Like, what made you join the program?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm a very dynamic person. I'm a person that likes to do a couple of different things at one time, as most women do, especially women of color. So I love healing, and not so much healing, but more so holding space for others to heal, because we're all on the same journey together. But I also really am interested in marketing and advertising and social media marketing more specifically as well. So I've always definitely had that interest. And of course, like with the world that we're living in right now, it's really smart to have multiple streams of income. So I kind of just wanted to expand my reach. And on top of that, programmatic is also beneficial to an entrepreneur as well, because you can kind of learn those inside skill sets that would help grow your company in the future, or anyone else that you choose to partner with.
I love that. So for those who are not familiar, the Reach and Frequency course it's a program that was based on the course. So we created that to help people like Lynzee, people like myself, like 10 years ago when I just started to learn the ins and outs of programmatic media. Because before that, nobody hears about programmatic media, but yet it holds like 85% of digital advertising spend in the US. That means between search, social, paid social, and programmatic has the biggest pie, a share of the pie. Why should you consider that, or why should you even pay attention to this trend? It's because it's taking over the world. No, I'm kidding. Because it offers a lot of targeting capabilities for your clients, but also for brands, or like Lynzee said, for herself, for small businesses. So the program teaches a person not only the fundamentals, but it teaches them the different targeting capabilities. It gives you hands-on experience in the DSP, or technology we call the trade desk. And so it's a really cool program, because when we created it, I thought about myself, like, if I wasn't lucky enough to find that agency job back in 2012 or 2013, probably would have been stuck in paid social. That's where I was, or I would have been, hustling and somewhere in marketing. So I got hired by this agency who really trained me from the ground up. And that's how I grew with my experience. It's just with time, with managing campaigns, with conferences, meeting people, growing your network. So the Reach and Frequency was created. It's an accelerator program. It's 6 to 7 weeks, and you go through that. And the ultimate goal is for the person to find a job in programmatic, whether I help them, I assist, I don't guarantee, but I assist, or they do it on their own, like Lynzee did. So talk to us about your experience in the Reach and Frequency, the good, the bad, the ugly, the sexy. Like I really want the listeners to have like a true perspective about like how it made you feel, like any wins, any challenges, anything else that we can improve, So talk to us about like your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually been following you for a while, Ellen. I saw you on Facebook and Instagram, and I saw you always talking about programmatic, like what's the new sexiest career, programmatic advertising. And I'm like, what the heck is that? I have no idea what this is, but I was always watching. And then, like I said, just getting to the place in my life where I'm in my passion project. I love what I do. I actually quit my original corporate America job of 11 years to become an entrepreneur. But of course, like I said, it's a really smart move to be able to pivot, expand, and just add to the pot. Why not? So I decided to one day sign up for Ellen's programmatic course because it sounded really good. I went to your initial interest call, and I just really liked your energy. I liked the way that you explained it, and I'm definitely a person that's not afraid to try new things. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and take a leap of faith and try out for I signed up for the Reach and Frequency course. And so I had told a lot of my friends about it, and they were like, what's programmatic? What's programmatic? So at first I was slightly intimidated just because I wasn't quite sure of it, what programmatic meant. But as soon as I got into your course, your energy throughout each module is so infectious. It keeps you engaged because, sometimes learning something new, especially that we're intimidated by, technology can feel intimidating. But you made it feel very feasible, like anyone can do it. And I do believe that anyone can do it. All you have to do is believe. I like that you tailored each video within the modules to where it was not too long. It was just enough to keep your attention. I think we had one that was 45 minutes, but it was completely worth it. And that definitely wasn't even that painful.
That one too, I know, it's the one about the DSP. I was like, yo, shit, that's a long one. And it was 2 parts for the DSP one and this part 2. So it's supposed to be longer, but I was like, yo, it's just because we're talking about that technology and there's so much to say. So I went really probably recorded that lesson probably 3 or 4 times because I was like, it's too long. I keep fluffing it. Just go straight to it. Stop, because you're going to be confused. Even as me, a professional, sometimes I've listened to some of the experts in the field talking about technology needs this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, huh? Why are you complicating this? Can you just make it easy so actually everybody's on the same page? That's another conversation though. But yeah. That one is a long one. That's actually part of module 2, where we cover programmatic ecosystem. So you talk about everybody that's involved in the landscape, their role. And so that one is actually the longest module, and I think it's 4 hours. Every other module, every other chapter of the program is about 2 hours, I think. But that one is 4 hours and a half. I was
It is. And I did hesitate at first before I entered into that 45-minute one. However, I want to report that it was fine. Like again, the way that you structure it, the words, the graphs and the pictures. And then I love that you have the QR codes within so that we can continue to learn or piggyback off of the information that you share within each module, which is super helpful. And also the way that I got viewed and picked up for a job. So very powerful tip there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, I would say it was really easy. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So what exactly is that tip? So tell the listener or the viewer, like, what exactly did you do? And then we'll get back into like the program.
Absolutely. So that tip is one of our homeworks that we're supposed to be doing weekly is posting on LinkedIn, but Ellen makes it really easy by creating QR codes within the videos. And basically it takes you to different articles from different DSPs, SSPs, or different just people within the programmatic world. And they talk about different topics. And so just kind of keeping yourself relevant by posting about those topics on LinkedIn. It also helps, potential employers find you easier, which is what happened for me. That's how I was able to get picked up so quickly. So just make sure you do your homework, make sure that you do post on LinkedIn, and make sure you do utilize those QR codes that Ellen so graciously places within each of the modules and within the videos as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, honestly, it's like the secret sauce. Like I hear a lot of even candidates that are not in the program talk about how, oh, I'm not on LinkedIn. And I'm like, if you're in a hiring process, or if you're looking for a job, or if you're looking for a promotion or another opportunity, like moving up the ladder, you should probably tap into LinkedIn. It's a free resource. It's a free tool. You can leverage that to your advantage. And it's as easy as like, you gotta follow with the hiring company, connect with them and engage. You have to really genuinely engage with them, like comment and ask questions. And then like you have to leverage that relationship. And that's what you did. Like you literally scanned the QR code, you read the full article, gave your 2 pieces about it. And then the CEO of the company noticed it. And some people might think about like, oh, she was at the right time, at the right, in the right place at the right time, whatever. But the place is LinkedIn. Okay.
Right.
Right. You might have been in the right place, but the place is still LinkedIn. Yeah. So, this is not sponsored by LinkedIn. If LinkedIn is listening, I'd love some help. I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. I found most of my digital advertising job via LinkedIn. And so I want to say almost all of them. But yeah, so you got to use this free tool. And if you're spending 2-3 hours, which is what the social media stats are telling us, if you're spending 2 hours scrolling, there's nothing wrong with that. Take 30 minutes and make sure that the scrolling happens on LinkedIn. And then engage. But but I think we don't do a good job at encouraging authenticity in any field. And so people get embarrassed or scared to actually put themselves out there. But the beauty is just that you got to put yourself out there. You got to take the first step. Your first post will probably be nerve-wracking, like really like, oh, I'm finna do this. This is it. I'm pressing. Compared to like post number 5, you're like, post, And sometimes we notice errors. Sometimes I notice grammar errors and I'm like, it is what it is. There's 1,000 people that saw this post already. I'm going to correct it, right? Because I know better. But it is what it is. It's just who, the message is on there. So you gotta leverage the free tools you have.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I was gonna say definitely leverage the free tools. LinkedIn is key. Ellen is not lying about that. And also, I was gonna say something on authenticity as well. So basically, I would just read the articles. I'm genuinely interested in it, and then I would just try to find pieces that stick out to me. So I always make sure that I mention something that was either at the bottom of the article, in the middle, just to make sure that it's clear that I've read it, I've understood it. And I think that whomever you're referencing in the post or, they will appreciate that as well. So,
yeah. And like we think because they're an article or they're writing an article on Forbes magazine or like some big art, some big magazine that, they don't need the recognition, but no, like you have no idea how a thank you for posting this or like, hey, this was a great article can take the person far. Like, I understand my mission. I understand why this program is created. But every time somebody comes to me and say, like, it's nice to have a mentor that looked like me, it's like a win for me. Because when I started, nobody in leadership looked like me, sounded like me, could relate to my historical background. And it's a problem. It's still a problem nowadays. And you see it. Like, you'll go to conferences, you'll go to webinars, you'll look on companies' website, and you'll see that it's predominantly men that are white. And maybe there's nothing wrong with that, right? But ultimately there is, because there's so many more qualified or just as qualified. And so that's what I'm trying to break. So even though I know my mission is, and I'm comfortable in the struggle and the growth, it makes me happy when somebody says, like, I'm glad you did this. So I share that to say, when you're writing about those articles, like Lynzee is mentioning, is like, make sure you take the time to tell the person your thanks, or this is great, or this don't make sense, or let them know how you feel, which is okay. But tagging that person is how you'll get noticed, because according to LinkedIn algorithm, I think the person that you tag gets noticed, but their connection can get noticed as well. Notice your post as well. So that's how you spread awareness about who you are, about what you're looking for. And if it's done consistently, then the algorithm is going to help as well, which is what the program is about. Like you said, like, the homework is a consistent posting on LinkedIn. Like, it's not the end of the world if you don't. But if you're really committed, dedicated, and you're trying to get that job in the programmatic field, then you're going to invest some time in learning LinkedIn a little bit more. But I will say, it's not so much about, finding a job. It's about also, like, growing your network. Yeah. I have so many contacts that reach out to me. Do you know this person? Do you know this person? Do you know this person? But I've had the time to create some type of, like, relationship over the years, and I've used LinkedIn for it. So it's not only about your job or the next person's job. It's about, once you get into that position, you already met somebody that works for the data provider, that works for this SSP. You can reach out to them, and that's how you grow even as, like, an expert, because now you've gone above and beyond to really grow your network and learn from your network. So that's another positive thing too about leveraging LinkedIn.
Definitely. I mean, even with my posts, like, sometimes the person will share it on their page if they really appreciated what you did. And that's definitely expanding your network. So just a really important tool all around.
Yeah.
Hi, did you know that at Ellen Parker Consulting, we now offer an accelerator program where we attract, recruit, and train future marketers? And their training include a 6 weeks program where they cover programmatic landscape, important industry trends, the differences between targeting placement and targeting mix, and their best practices, including optimization and reporting hacks. And they're able to set up, manage, and monitor a campaign, a demo campaign in the trade desk, everything including audience selection, inventory optimization, SPO, creative upload, brand safety, you name it. They're able to do it at the end of the 6 weeks program. So if you are part of the 90% of employers struggling to find a skilled candidate today and not willing to spend $14,900 on a bad hire, according to Zippia, give us a call. Let's discuss which one of our 5 to 10 juniors available every month is the perfect fit for your team. Clients who have hired our juniors have shared that we were able to help them save 1 to 2 months onboarding with those juniors. Give us a call right now and let's discuss the solution with you.
I actually forgot to ask this question at the beginning, but I usually ask all the guests on the podcast how they would define programmatic media or programmatic advertising to a 5-year-old. So can you give us your 5-year-old programmatic advertising definition?
Sure, let me try. Okay, so I usually say Okay, to a 5-year-old. Normally to someone, I would say it's just automated marketing. So it's just marketing on automation. So it's running an ad continuously and monitoring it. To a 5-year-old, I would say when you look on TV or you look on the internet and you see different ads and commercials for like your favorite toys, like a programmatic person or a ninja could be someone that makes sure that that website or that commercial stays on the TV every time you come on there, so you can tell your mom and dad what you want for Christmas. Or when you go on the internet and you're looking up your Christmas list, like those ads that you see, or the advertisements that you see, I pretty much make sure that they stay there and that they're visible so that you can know what toys you want or things you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a good one. And some of the 5-year-olds, I always say they're smart. It's real smart. I mean, we were smart too, but they's really smart too. You know. So, well, thank you so much for making the time. And we'll ask this last question, right? Like, why do you think what can improve first of all in the program? What do you think you should, like, now that you've taken in and then you're working, you just started your successful career in programmatic, how can we make it even better?
I would say you've done a pretty good job streamlining everything. I would say maybe just having more assignments as far as like DSP practice goes, like a little bit earlier on, or at least somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Because you do a really amazing job mapping everything out, but it would be nice just to have, like, you know, it's always good to have as much practice because it's intimidating. Yeah, but mainly I would say that would be. Yeah,
that's a great recommendation. I think I agree, because even in the current cohort and the winter cohort, like I've received I noticed like towards the end, like, I wish I had more time with them to show them inside of the DSP. So that makes a lot of sense. And the more they're inside of DSP, you're absolutely right, the more familiar they are. But like, it's all about confidence. I feel like there are a lot of people that get hired anywhere in any field that lack that initial confidence. And we think because we just found this job, we need to give it all and, you know, don't practice healthy boundaries and just go do all this stuff. But when with a little bit of confidence, every single person working should understand that you're exchanging values as much as your time with a company. So as much as you're working with them, the company should give something back to you, which is that experience. So the confidence can come easily when the platform is, I understand this, I can do it in my sleep, right? You don't have to work years to learn at least the initial basic, how to set up a campaign, how to pull a report, how to optimize, things like that. So that's a great feedback. Thank you for sharing that. And then I'll ask you this last question, right? Before we go into our closing segment. Why should anybody join the program?
I think that anybody should join the program first and foremost because anyone can do it. So it's not closed off to any one particular group of people. I think that it's possible for all people. So that's what I think is really beautiful about this field. And like Ellen said, all it really takes is a little bit of confidence and willpower, and you can definitely do it. We have a community, so it feels like a very safe space. I know that's very yogi of me, but it does feel like a safe space because, you know, sometimes in the work world, like you don't feel like you have anyone to go to, or you feel like you're nervous, you don't know who to ask questions. So I love that you can always contact Ellen or the programmatic community and for assistance and just help with anything that you need. Also, the program, again, is very straightforward. It is really nice seeing somebody that looks like me leading the way. So that's really encouraging. But most importantly, if you're just curious, if you want to try something new, if you're an entrepreneur, if you do need to pivot in your career, if you do need to add some more income, I feel like this is just a phenomenal option to try. Of course, you know, it's going to take practice, but it's definitely not impossible. And again, it's available to anyone. So that's why I feel like you should sign up for the Reach and Frequency course specifically. Yeah.
That's dope. Well, if you're interested, I'll leave all of the show description all of the links you need to know in the show description. If you even want to connect with LinkedIn with Lynzee on LinkedIn, not with LinkedIn on Lynzee. Her information will be in the show notes as well, or in the YouTube description of the video. Okay, Lynzee, let's have some fun. I'd love for you to share a fun fact about yourself. So we know you're a yoga therapist. What would be another fun fact that you can share with us?
What would be a fun fact? Well, I'm double jointed, but I'm sure that's not really surprising since I do yoga. I'm a twin.
Double jointed.
Like my my joints go far beyond what they should.
Oh. I was like, I swear I was about to text my husband, like, what the fuck is double jointed?
Like things go in awkward directions. Things go in awkward directions. And
that's funny.
But it feels good to me because, you know, I've always been as a kid.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So, but you don't need to be flexible to be in yoga. Just always remember that as well. And then I'm a twin, but he's a boy.
No way.
Yeah. That's so I'm a twin, and we were born on 2/22, and so last year we all twos for us. So that was exciting. Yeah.
Oh, did you do anything special?
Did I do anything special? I don't know why I don't remember. This is how you know how busy I am. I don't think so. I think I just went to dinner. I really cannot remember because I'm just literally on the go all the time. But I feel like it was good. I feel like it was great.
What is like, leave us with some wisdom, right? And like, how do you find time to recenter? What are some of the things you do, maybe on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, you name it, to really recenter yourself and practice healthy boundaries, what that means for you, so that anyone listening in a situation where they're working, they're not seeing the end of the tunnel, or if they are, it's a train, right? There's a light at the end of the tunnel, it's a train. How can we leave them with like some encouragement or wisdom here? Like the world is your oyster. Leave us with whatever's on your heart right now.
Absolutely. Okay. So I feel like first and foremost, the most important thing is self-realization. So you always want to have awareness within yourself so that you can know what you need and what you don't need. It's really important to check in with yourself and say, like, what do I need? You know, how do I feel today? A really good way to find that peace within yourself, because we're always moving, we're always having to show up for somebody, is simply, number one, starting off with just breathing, like sitting down. Like, imagine before you're nervous or you do anything big, what do? You usually take a deep breath. So same concept. You want to inhale, you want to hold the breath, and then you want to take as long as you can, dragging the exhale out, because it just signals your nervous system to relax. The next thing you want to do is, these things don't cost anything, because of course I could say get your nails done, do that too. But you can check in with your body. So as you're breathing, you can say, okay, like, where do I need, like, where's my body calling out to me? And then I would definitely recommend yoga. You know, I love yoga. I ride for yoga hard. And yoga doesn't mean that you have to do anything crazy. You can hold one pose and just hold space for yourself in that way. And again, continue breathing, checking in with yourself. And then something I really love as of late, two things. I love reading. So always expanding your mind gives you confidence, because you gain new knowledge and techniques and just insight to the world around you. And it helps you navigate where you want to go and how you want to get there. And then last but not least, I love sound therapy. So I have been really into sound bowl study. So they're like crystallized sound bowls. So I have these big 14-inch sound bowls. I have 7 of them, and I just play them, and each one correlates to like a different emotion in our body.
That's really cool. Send me some links so I can add in the job description, so that if anyone wants to find out more things about soundboarding, they know. Okay, that's so good. I think the biggest thing I'm hearing is that you just got to spend some time with yourself, by yourself.
Yes.
And really discover yourself. And sometimes when we hear that, we hear like, oh, whatever, I don't have time, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care if it's like 2 minutes in the bathroom by yourself, in the morning, at night, whatever, the closet, in your car. The whole point is understanding what you need and what you want and going for that. But like, definitely spending some time with ourselves. And last year, my theme was discovery, and I spent a lot of time just like on this being uncomfortable, like, why am I feeling this way? And this year, my theme is master, but I would have never been able to master anything that I'm about to do in 2023 if I didn't spend enough time understanding that this is your strength, this is your power. And that even though some people have said it wasn't in the past, it actually is, and it's a superpower. So thank you so much for bringing so much peace and wisdom. You can already tell if you're listening, you're a hiring manager or you're whatever, like holler at Lynzee. Like you can even see, like, I don't know if y'all feel peaceful, but I feel really peaceful right now. You can't imagine what that value can add to like a team, especially if we know programmatic can be hectic during launch, during activation season, during Q4, which we just passed. So like, it's not only about focusing on how well can a strategy can be created and how fast, but the other end of this is like, what are some transferable skill set that you can bring into this field? And Lynzee brought like 1,000 things: creativity, wisdom, experience. 10 years in corporation teaches you a lot about yourself and what you don't want, but also what you need and what you're good at. So it's always about that. So if you're a hiring manager and listen to this interview, this is what your actionable insight should be. Like if they don't have that technical skill set that is a must, what else can they bring and add into your culture? Because it's not a culture fit, it's a culture add. And that's what Daniel Leslie said. I didn't create that term. I love her. That's why I need to shout her out. So thank you so much, Lynzee, for dropping by. It was an absolute pleasure. We wish you nothing but good luck. And this is not the last time you heard from Lynzee. She'll be back.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.